What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Rugby Challenge 4 video. So today is going to be a long one where we're just basically going to be discussing Rugby Challenge 4 in general, just to try and entertain you guys. It's going to be kind of like a podcast sort of thing, so a long video to watch, obviously because there's no rugby at the moment. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the video. Welcome back to another rugby video. Please make sure you go ahead and smash that like button to show your support for the channel, and if you are new, please go ahead and subscribe. We upload rugby videos every single week guaranteed, so please click the notification button so you don't miss out. So obviously there's a lot we don't know about Rugby Challenge 4 at the moment, because obviously they haven't released much detail about it. But we do know kind of what to expect, obviously, with them releasing some footage of what the graphics could potentially look like. So this looks pretty cool. This is the graphics, as you can see here on the screenshots I'm going to be showing you today. We also know then it's run on Unreal Engine, which is like a really realistic engine that a lot of games have used, but a lot of games don't use. Because I think it's free to actually use, so that's why I think a lot of developers don't want to go into using that engine. So it could be a good thing for the Rugby Challenge 4 board in general. Wicked Witch running their game on Unreal could be a pretty awesome thing, obviously with graphics and stuff. But we don't know how it's actually going to run in terms of gameplay. That's one of the major points you're all kind of worried about, because obviously Rugby Challenge 3, you all felt that it didn't run as well as it should have. But here, obviously, as you can see, are the face scans that we've already seen. And to be honest, it does look pretty real. You can kind of tell that's Owen Farrell, Atoje, and Henry Slade, I believe that is. So it looks quite nice, I think. So obviously, there's a lot of teams as well that we know that are going to be in it, but there's also speculation of what licenses they're going to have. So as of right now, we know they have New Zealand, South Africa, Fiji, England, and I do believe that is it, because obviously a lot of licenses are in Rugby 20, and a lot of these teams you can actually make in Rugby 20. Obviously you can make South Africa, and you can make Fiji, and you can make England, as long as you save up and buy the packs. So I mean, Rugby 20 has kind of developed quite nicely in terms of that. I know Rugby Challenge has the edit team option, so you can edit players and what they look like and stuff. Whereas in terms of building teams, at least Rugby 20 is on board with that. But we're not talking about that today, we're talking about Rugby Challenge 4. And yeah, I mean, personally, I think it's going to be quite a good game. It all really depends on if they've reworked the animations from the previous game, Rugby Challenge 3. Like I said, a lot of people felt it was a bit rigged, as well as like kind of like a copy and paste sort of style compared to the second game. And that is really something they should be looking at to sort out. I mean, I would like to see animations redone, like you saw in the new Rugby 20 game. The animations are completely different compared to Rugby 18. They've reworked a lot more detail. And in terms of gameplay-wise for Rugby Challenge 3, they always included quite a bit of detail. Like you could have like a sort of like a cinematic shot of a player drinking his water bottle. I mean, yeah, okay, that's something that doesn't really like mean anything in terms of gameplay wise, but little details like that still go quite far, and it still looks quite nice. So another thing I want to talk about is the game modes. Now, Rugby Challenge 3 always had some pretty awesome game modes. Obviously, we had a good career mode, and you could also make your own player, as in like a sort of make your own player sort of style career mode where you'd like sign for a team and so on. And now, I never actually played Rugby Challenge 3, as you guys already know this, but this is what going by the footage I've seen, and I've seen other people play it as well. So something like this I feel is a really good feature to have in a rugby game. Obviously we never had that in Rugby 20, and as much as I would have loved to play it, we never had it. So to have this in a high graphic game like Rugby Challenge 4, and try and rework it so you're receiving like messages from your coach, your players, you've got targets and stuff to achieve, I really feel like there would be a really big stepping point for Rugby Challenge 4. Even though they may not have the licensing, career modes like that could be really make the game itself. Obviously with the fan hub as well being in it, so you'll be able to make your teams as well that aren't in the game, or download them from online by other people making them. I think that's pretty cool. Something else I would like to be able to see is having the official kits for those teams, like being able to download that, but we will get into that eventually in this podcast. But yeah, in general, I mean, I think it's going to be having some high potential if they do some things right. Something else I think would be really cool, they have like obviously made some other games like Rugby League and stuff, and in one of those games they had a stadium creator, as you can see here. Now having this in Rugby Challenge 4 I think would be quite cool as well, being able to make your own ground if you're doing a career mode where you're making your own team, or if you're doing a sort of like say if you're making the International Wales team and you want to build the Principality Stadium in Cardiff, then having something like this would be pretty awesome to have. Again, I could like make the Ospreys Stadium because Ospreys won't be in this game. So it would give you a lot more abilities to do what you want to do. And I generally feel like it would be such a cool feature to have because we hardly ever have that in Rugby Union games. I don't even think we had that in Rugby 08 from what I remember. I know they used to have it in the old Madden games when you used to be able to make your own team. You could like select the colours and stuff of your stadium. So to have that in a Rugby Union game I think would be pretty awesome. And it would actually be a feature that I feel like would be a good selling point for the game itself. Me alone I think it would be pretty awesome having like a feature like that. Like I said, having the ability then to make the Liberty Stadium for the Ospreys, or like say Rodney Parade for the Dragons, or even if it lets you make bigger stadiums, like making the Principality Stadium from Cardiff, I think it would be such a cool thing to be able to do. Even if I was to make my own team, like having a Rugby Channel team, picking all the best players that I want, I could then make a ground colour system to make it sort of like look like my own stadium, even though it doesn't exist in real life. So I really feel I would love to see that in this game, and it is a high possibility we could get that, just because obviously they've had that in previous Rugby League games, so surely in a new Rugby Challenge game it's a possibility that they'll have that, especially considering the money is going, like it's not going to be going on many licenses because they're not going to have that amount of licenses. So if they put little features like that and put the money back into the game rather than getting licenses, it could be quite cool. You guys let me know in the comment section what you thought of the stadium thing. Like, would you want to see that? So another thing that I would like to be able to see is a change in commentary, or like a rework on the commentary, because the commentary alone I don't think is, I mean it's passable. I mean all rugby games commentaries are kind of passable, but that's not really something you want to be seeing in a rugby game or a sports game being made in 2020. It should really be really good commentary rather than saying it's passable commentary. So I would like to be able to see either a new set of people doing the commentary for this game, or failing that, making like a new commentary, so like getting them to redo the whole thing, isn't it? I can't remember the people that do it, but I know they are New Zealanders, I do believe. Quite well known. One of them used to play for the Ospreys as well, I do believe. So yeah, they're a good commentary team. They're top lads, but I wouldn't want to be like seeing the same commentary again from the previous games, because they always felt the same and really scripted. It'd be like, and he passes to Quade Cooper, like that, you know. So it just doesn't sound real, in my opinion, anyway. So going back to the kits, then, something for the fan hub I would really like to see is being the ability to make the kits or create a kit. Now, obviously, we can create kits in this game because you could do it in all the Rugby Challenge games, but I would like to be able to see being able to make the sort of like designs and the sponsors and stuff. So like this sort of layout that you see in FIFA, but kind of different, if that makes sense. So like say when you're doing the fan hub online on your computer, and you get to make the official kits, I'd like to be able to download those official kits onto the game using a USB stick or the fan hub connected to the internet. Whether or not they'd allow that, just because obviously there's a lot of legal terms, I'd imagine, with all that stuff. It's a different thing. You might never get that, but I do feel like that would be a really strong point in selling the game itself. Because if I was to play as Wales, I'd want to play in the official kit, and currently Rugby 20 is the only game that offers playing Wales, the official Wales, in the official kit. So I feel like if Rugby Challenge 4 is trying to compete with the licenses, they're going to have to try and step up their game and like have the ability to download the official kits and the logos and stuff. Otherwise, it's just not going to feel the same, I don't think. I mean, it's like with Rugby 20, I've got the official South African team in it, well, most of the players, but the only thing is, it doesn't, although it feels like you're playing with South Africa, is obviously always going to be a little bit different. If I had the official kit for them, it would feel a lot better. So little things like that, I feel, are kind of like, it's not an essential at the end of the day. The most essential thing is getting the gameplay right. But so, things like that, if you really want to sell the game, you need little features like that, like the stadium creator, like the ability to import logos, or have like little details like that, having the official kit, and just in general things like that. And like I would like to be able to see, going back to the stadium creator, I mean, even obviously you're probably going to be limited with what stadiums you can make, as you're probably going to be like make little grounds where you can add little stands and stuff on the sidelines. So I think would be quite cool if, like, say, online, again, it's kind of like the whole modding system, but not. So like when you have online, when you're making, like, say, like for Rugby 20, somebody made the official kits for the unlicensed teams in Rugby 20. I did game faces, although you can't actually do that on console and stuff. So with Rugby Challenge 4 having the fan hub, I'd like to see like people online on the computers and stuff being able to make like the official stadiums. So like being able to make Cardiff and doing all the sponsors and the color coding and everything, and then putting it onto the fan hub to download into the game. I think something like that would be quite cool, although it may not be possible. I still feel that would be a really, really cool feature to have. I don't even think you can do that in Pro Evolution Soccer, so I doubt that would be something they'd have. But if it was a possibility, I think it would be quite cool. So more licenses then I would like to be able to see in this game. It would obviously be the Major League Rugby, because Major League Rugby isn't in Rugby 20. Same as SLAR, which is it's Suda America Liga Rugby, I think it's called, which is the South American League Rugby. The clue is in the name, basically. Which is a professional league which has only just been started up, and it's got one team from Argentina, one from Uruguay, Chile, Paraguay, Brazil. There's quite a few. I can't remember every single one. But I would like to be able to see that in a game, because it would really like up the whole reputation of that league. Being able to play as them. Okay, maybe some people won't want to play as them because they'll probably be rated quite low, but it would still be quite cool to see them in a video game, being able to play with them, just because it would make the game a lot more professional for South Americans. Same goes for the Major League Rugby. Obviously, a lot of the American players are playing in Major League Rugby, and there's also some superstars there, like the likes of Ma Nonu and Matthew Bastero. There's literally loads out there, so I would like to be able to see that in a video game as well. I know there was rumours of having the MLR in Rugby 20 itself, but it's not going to happen now as far as I know. So, I mean, that license is still up for grabs. The same as the Japanese Top League is still up for grabs. Although the only issue is Rugby Challenge 4 is saying that they've got over 25 teams, or 25 licensed teams, that is. So that kind of makes me wonder, do they go past 30 on that, or are they just having fake ones and you get to rename them? What's going to happen with that? That's what kind of makes me wonder about. I would like to be able to see the Japanese Top League, the SLAR, and Major League Rugby be in it, because obviously they've got Super Rugby. They're not going to be able to get the English Premiership, the French leagues, or the Pro 14, that being because they're in Rugby 20. So something like that should really be in Rugby Challenge 4. There's 3 major competitions, MLR, like I said, South American, and Top League. I would love to be able to have, as well as Super Rugby then, because that's kind of covering all those leagues, and then Rugby 20 has the European leagues. So that way then, both games are kind of winning, if that makes sense. So that would be quite a cool feature. Otherwise, it's just going to be really annoying, the likes of mixed licenses all the time. It does get really irritating. You would like to see one game work alone with everybody and just have all the licenses, rather than these 2 games every single bloody, 2 years I think it is, and they share the licenses, and it's like, great, so now you got to buy 2 games. And like I said, I would just like to be able to see the like say Wicked Witch and then EKO Software, as well as Nacon, which is Big Ben now, but Big Ben's been called Nacon for us that don't know. I'd like to be able to just see all of them work together and just get all the licenses in one game, and then just make it every 2 years, rather than have 2 different copies of different games every year. Like, it's just really irritating, guys. Really, really irritating. But yeah, stuff like that I feel like would make Rugby Challenge 4 really good, and I doubt it's going to happen with some of these things I've mentioned, just because they're so high-tech to do. But hey, this is just my opinion. Right, I'll probably finish the video there, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. It was quite a long one today. I mean, I tried to get it so it's a bit more entertaining to talk about. But yeah, hopefully you did enjoy. Please make sure you go ahead and smash the like button to show your support for these videos. I'm going to try and do every single day. I'm trying to put out a video for you all to watch. So hopefully you are enjoying them. So please make sure you go ahead and smash the like button. Let me know in the comment section as well if there's something that you want to talk about or you want to see a video on. Or just let me know your opinion on Rugby Challenge 4. Let me know down below. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe. We upload rugby videos every single week, guaranteed, covering everything to do with Rugby 20, Rugby Challenge 4, and everything else to do with Rugby Union itself. So if you're a rugby fan or a sports fan, please go ahead and subscribe. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I've been Andrew. I will see you in another upload. Peace out, guys.